Hey everybody, this is Joe. Thank you for watching my Giga Texas construction update video.
Hey everybody, back out here to fly at Giga Texas, but this is a little bit special for me because I spent the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, up here at Austin at the Everyday Astronaut Astro Awards. That was really a pretty amazing event. A lot of great panelists and speakers, a lot of opportunity to see space hardware from a variety of different vendors. I even did a video with Astro Lab talking about their flip lander and specifically the wheel design that they had and what they're planning on doing with a launch coming up this summer. I do have that video. The link will be here at the bottom of the screen at the video description. I would recommend you take a look at that. But another thing I got to do here today, this is Monday, it's Martin Luther King holiday, but Firefly had us out at their facilities, the Hive, where they have the Mission Operations Center, also where they're putting together a Blue Ghost 2, a second one of the lunar landers. We got a chance to see a lot of their operations and facilities at that location. Then we went up to Briggs, which is where they have all of their production and also where they do testing, specifically static fire testing. And today I got a chance to see a Reaver engine. That's what they use on their Alpha rocket, and they did a static fire. We were at pretty close range. We got a chance to see the entire duration. It was quite loud and spectacular, and just a really amazing opportunity. So while I was up here at Austin for that today, I thought I would stop by and get in a Giga Texas flight this afternoon just to get some updates of what's going on, even though this is a holiday. We do get a chance to see quite a bit of new things, specifically over at Cortex 2, where we see a lot of work continuing with that chiller plant, both part 1 and 2. A lot more of the superstructure going up on part 1. Also, a new very large crane is being delivered to the site and getting ready to be set up over on kind of the south side of Cortex 2, near where all of the transformers have been installed. They're also doing some more of the steel superstructure on top of the lower screw type piers on that southwest corner, and also a lot more of the piers and preparation for more of the transformers along that side of the building. We also get a chance to see the first 11 new Megapacks that have been delivered here on site, and those are also going to be kind of installed along this west side. And this entire side of the building is going to be just kind of an electrical powerhouse with transformers, electrical systems, and Megapacks all feeding Cortex 2. The last thing real quick I want to talk about is over at the electrical switchyard. We get a chance to see that third transformer support base and catch basin is getting framed in for more concrete, and the second transformer has had a lot more assembly of that structure since my last video. So anyway, a lot more to see here today, even though it is a holiday, and it's just been an amazing weekend. And today up at Firefly, and with, of course, the Everyday Astronaut Astro Awards, just amazing. So anyway, that's pretty much what I want to just update you here on the intro. So let's get in the drone, let's fly around and see what Giga Texas looks like on this late afternoon, and just get an update of what's going on. So thanks again for watching. I appreciate it.
If you would like to support my efforts, please consider using these links, which will be in the video description. If you are interested in Tesla products, you can help yourself and support me by using my referral code. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons on my YouTube video, as this helps as well. Thank you. My drones are ready and raring to go. Let's go flying over Giga Texas. Well, another great day to fly here at Giga Texas. Like I said, I took advantage of the fact that I was up at Austin already for my Firefly tour earlier on this day. So I decided I would get the flight of Giga Texas done and take advantage of this late afternoon sun, which gives us some different shadows and different lighting. We're going to start off here on the west side. I wanted to show you that the number of transformers is starting to grow yet again, and this is a really great shot of showing how many of them are here. And also we can tell that there's a truck that is delivering yet another one. So I'm not sure what the plan is, but they certainly have set aside much more of the space here for more of these to be arriving. So it'll be something that we watch for. Also get a good chance here to see all of the materials that are on this side of the site. These blue pipes are all part of the testing system for the cooling systems. We saw that on the southeast side of the big main factory, maybe used at Cortex too. All of the superchargers here at the workshop are continuing to grow many more of these V4 posts and cabinets that have been put together. And as we fly back over to this section, we can see more of those materials here on the ground, some of those red items here, which may be bridge cranes, and also more of those cabinets and the wooden crates that have been moved over to this side of the site. Great view, of course, of the main factory in the background. Here's an overall shot of this material staging yard and some of the materials that are being stored right underneath the power lines. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn the drone around here. We'll look at the southwest corner. You can tell that there is a continued activity here with some more of the dirt being picked up and put onto these dump trucks. Also, it looks like there's a kind of a scraper that's underway right now next to where the pond is. And this is a great view of all of this activity. And I'm kind of just monitoring this to see what's going to happen. At present, it looks like they're using some of this dirt to go fill into other parts of the site, specifically on the east side clearing, which we will see here momentarily. But great to see all of this activity on this side of the site. In addition to that, we'll see more of the steel that's being stored here on this kind of triangular, a large lot. On the right-hand side of the screen is where that large white tent used to be. Also, all of the racks for castings, all that has been moved away. Now here in this middle section, we see the concrete vaults, manhole covers, and other construction items. Some of the red painted items here are also the production line equipment. You can see that kind of intermixed around with the concrete parts. And then over on this part near where the power lines are, you can see some more of the pipes and other items painted red and some of them in white all throughout this section, which I believe is still related to production at some point in the factory. And I'll continue to watch all of this to see where it's going to be going. It's also interesting that they are using this site underneath the power lines for storage of that equipment. Now we go over the power lines. I'll bring the drone back down here. This is where the caisson work was done. Now we can see all of the newly spread dirt on the ground. It's graded out and the crane is being dismantled for movement off-site, as it looks like its purpose is now completed. And it's kind of funny, all of the work to make the caissons and all of the subterranean piping and tunneling, and now you can only tell by that one circular manhole access point. So kind of neat to know, at least for those who watch my video, what's all underneath that site, even though it's not really that visible. So let's cross over the highway and look at what is going on with these caisson constructions projects on the south side of River Road. Now next to this crane, we can see the caisson, some of the trenching that's heading off to the east. I'll zoom in, give you a nice unique view down at the bottom of this caisson. Now there is a tunnel, you can see that here. They've been putting in liners with kind of spacers to hold it on the walls of the tunnel, and then that extends underneath this roadway intersection over to where we see this large excavation pit.
and I'll continue to fly over towards that, kind of try and take advantage of the lighting here, show you the caisson with that kind of semicircular part of the wall and that manhole access point next to the trucks, and of course this large excavation. And I'll maneuver the drone here to zoom in, show you what the spreader bars, the sheet piles, and this large concrete vault that is several stories high. It looks like right now they have that kind of a bridge, and we see the pipes and the diverters of how this all connects in. And that goes over to that caisson with the tunnel that I showed you earlier, and it looks like it's continuing to the north through where these trench boxes are to connect into more of the piping that has been installed all along this entire berm. Here's a good look at some of the equipment here and the crane that is lowered down on the ground here. I'm still watching to see what is going to happen to that, as I presume that the work for that is nearly completed. Now, as we get closer up to the flagpoles, I like the fact that the wind was just right, so we get some great views of the flags. And I thought I would sort of just fly by here and show you what that looks like with the main entrance. Of course, the exit point for the Model Y is closed because this is a holiday. And this section here is where we saw all the trenching, the pipes going up the berm and connecting in to the lift station. So most of that work seems to be completed. Not a lot else going on here on this side of the factory, so we'll fly up to the north end. We'll take a look at some of the developments on that side of the site. Looks like they put paving down on top of the trench where we saw the purple pipe on the left-hand side of the screen. I'll show you another view of that momentarily. Also on the north end here, a battery cell. See some of these rack mounts for plastic parts, some other mounts for the parts here. As we maneuver over towards plastics, we can see that in these bins, there's a lot of bumpers that are being recycled. Most of these appear to be Model Y bumpers. I don't really see anything that may indicate Cybercabs at this point in time. Of course, more of these rack mounts for plastic parts just on the north side of the plastics manufacturing. And then all of these stands used mostly for painting on the left-hand side of the screen, and on the right-hand side of the screen, I think those are related to Cybercab, but I'm not sure exactly. Also, more of those deliveries underneath that platform in that kind of silver wrapping. As I bring the drone back, I wanted to show you again all the asphalt that's been placed on top of the excavations for the pipe, all along this section where the casting racks are being stored. And you can tell all of that asphalt all the way through this section. So I believe that that means that that is completed. So we'll see what they do with that parking lot and yard here over the next week or so. A lot of castings, especially in the racks, all along the northeast and east side of casting and the melt center. It's a great view of some of these in the castings just below the ground, or the drone on the ground, and a good look into the melt center where we see the new furnace loading system on the right, and some other equipment just on the inside, and more of the items that are going to be used for recycling in those middle bays. And a nice view here along this side of the site. Now I'll kind of thread the needle between the power lines on the left and the baghouse filtration plant on the right. Also, just sorry about the banding because of the lighting, but I'll try to work through that here momentarily. But I want to show you the number of castings of all kinds all throughout this section. Most of these that we see in the mounts are for Model Ys. We do see more of those large deliveries here in the crates, some of them in the silver wrapping. And these black items look like, almost like spools of thread. Those are mounts for very large robotic assemblers. And those will be moved inside and the robots installed on top of them. More of these large wooden crates with the blue wrapping have been delivered to this part of the site. And it's most likely more production equipment that's being installed just underneath the drone, underneath the roof on the right-hand side of the screen. And of course, more deliveries here on this side of the site next to the secondary main entrance and that construction entrance. Some of them are red painted, so again, I believe that's related to production. So great view of what is continuing to be delivered, unpacked, and moved into the factory on this side. As we continue to fly to the south and passing a couple of these loading platforms, we'll see next to the two tanks and the platform, more equipment on the ground. This is towards the end of the Cybercab production line, just inside the walls on this part of the factory. And a great view of all of this activity here today. I'll keep the zoom in. We'll look down towards stamping, see some deliveries in wooden crates, also kind of an SPMT next to the crates, and that's for moving them around, and some excavation work near that window line where it starts to expand. And of course, the cooling plant for Cortex 2 or Cortex 1 appears to be working well. See more excavation near the River Road extension and that pond. And as I keep the zoom in and pan around the old last remaining original pond, we can see all of the equipment that is continuing to be stored on this side of the road in this material staging yard. And most of the items, other than the pipes, are for production. And I think they're just using this as overflow to keep the side of the factory clear as much as they possibly can. Good view of the parking garage. No vehicles on the roof this time, but we have started to see more of them over the last several videos. This is a great view of this east side and the work that's being done. Some of the dirt that we saw on that southwest kind of dirt area where they were packing them or excavating it and putting it onto the trucks is headed over to this part of the site. You also see what looks to be the beginnings of an intersection at the bottom of the screen, and the roadway that is on both sides of this kind of drainage ditch. Of course, Robotic Avenue is the paved road. But a great view of how this intersection is starting to come together and all the water management pipes and systems for drainage. Speaking of which, this is what the work at this kind of the southeast corner of this material staging yard looks like. You can see the pipes, also some of the gravel to keep them from floating, and some of the trucks bringing in some more dirt on this side as well. I'll keep the drone kind of flying to the north, paralleling this material staging yard. So you can see everything that is being stored here right now. A lot of these are pipes, and much of this is being used either in the south end extension or over at Cortex 2. But a great view of all of the items being stored right now. As we pass over the wind tunnel and the helicopter pad, just wanted to check in of all of these Model Y standards, and there are actually some Model 3s, probably standards here as well. A lot of dust on them, so that shows you they've been staying here for some time, and they really haven't been swapped out much. Because it's a construction site, everything does get dusty if it sits around for very long, and you can really get a good view of that here. Again, I'm not really sure why all of these vehicles are being stored here, especially since they're all standards, but it'll be just something I continue to watch and monitor and show you as time goes on. So I'll zoom out, we'll fly over the East Warehouse on Wheels and kind of reposition over to the old Martin Marietta maintenance facility. We'll take a look at how that is shaping up, as well as some additional excavation work at the bottom of the screen for the drainage. This is that old concrete maintenance facility. I believe it's being decommissioned with the lighting. You can see inside where pretty much everything has been removed. You can see the bins for the trash and debris as they are dismantling everything on the inside. And we also see electrical utility trucks, as I think that they are starting to remove the electrical systems on the inside as well. So I expect this building to be taken down pretty soon. I'll continue to fly over towards the battery cathode plant now. At the bottom of the screen, we see some of that equipment and pipes that continue to accumulate and kind of stay here. I don't know when those are going to be installed. The next thing I want to show you is this kind of construction site on the south end of the crash test facility. You can see what looks to be forms, some more trenching, conduit, and other pipes that have been placed in. And just looks like a lot of work that needs to be done before they will put the forms back in, and then we'll see concrete. Along the west side of the crash test facility, we see many of the Cybercabs, some of them with the covers blown off. You can clearly see what they look like. All of these have been going through crash testing and other testing as part of the pre-production process. More of the transformers being stored here next to the cell testing lab. And we'll briefly fly up and just look to the north here, checking on some of the equipment on the left side of the screen and some of the excavation work on this part of the site. I'll come back and we'll take a look at that on next video a little bit more in depth. But returning back to Cortex 2, just want to show you the trench work that's being done here on the east side of the facility. And of course, part 2 of the chiller system. It's got 3/4 of the perimeter walls. We can see that raised section in the middle, and also these kind of bunkers or manifold connection points nearest to the building. And it looks like more forms being put for more of that perimeter fence. So that's what this part of the cooling system looks like. The part 1 is really coming together. You can see this superstructure with the fiber reinforced polymer beams and sections, plus some of the pipes inside and the circular holes for the fans. And this is similar to what we see with the chiller plant on the south side of the main factory. We also see 6 of the 10 mobile chilling units on these trailers have been moved over here. The other 4 are still on the the west side of the highway. And these have been waiting for movement for about a couple of months, and it's great to see where these are headed right now. We can also see more work at the bottom of the screen and in these 2 more slabs that make up that cooling plant. Good view of a lot of the activity here on the south side of Cortex 2, including where we see this crane preparing to move some parts for a new, much larger crane. In addition to that, we see the shoring with the yellow squares on it to the right. And this is a close-in view of this crane, at least parts of it right now. You can see the treads on the center of the screen and that shoring off to the right. This just indicates that we're going to see another large crane assembled, and this may be because of some of the Megapacks that have showed up here on the site. You see those at the top of the screen. We'll get a closer view in a moment, but I believe that those are going to be installed in and amongst these beams on the ground and on the screw type piers and some of the kind of superstructure that's being installed along here as well. You can see more of those low-level screw type piers in this section. I think that will pretty much mimic what we just saw, and more Megapacks will be installed along this section. And just a quick zoom in here, show you what the activity is like to do the screw type piers. Here's one that's being installed right now, and they're going to continue this work all along this side. And we're just going to see this just extending all the way along the west side of the building. Very similar to what we see with the platforms and the scaffolding on the right, and more of the screw type piers here coming up into view. So this is going to be a massive amount of electrical systems, including these Megapacks for Cortex 2. Now, these are the first 11 of what is promising to be many more of the Megapacks. And you may ask, how do I know these are Megapacks? Because this is the same kind of packaging with the marks on the top that we have seen for both the original Megapack and Megapack 2. So this is, I guess you'd call it Megapack 3, or the 3rd large Megapack installation here at Giga Texas. And as I kind of maneuver the drone back around, this gives you a great overall view of this complex of structures in this section, how it's all coming together, and what Cortex 2 is starting to look like. Now, as we pass the water detention pond, we come over to the electrical switchyard expansion. and try to give you a great view of what is going on. Of course, a lot of the steel assembly has been done here. Trenching for the cable trays on the ground is well underway, and we see more equipment on this side of the site. These kind of almost look like tubes have actually been used in the past for pier construction, so that may be what we're going to see in the future. Does look like electrical equipment trucks have been brought on site, so we may see some of the high tension cables starting to be installed in the near future. As I maneuver around some of the equipment on the bottom of the screen, we'll get in close to see that more formwork is being placed for the large slab for the third transformer and also the catch basin. They've already put the bottom layer of concrete in, and now they're doing that raised section. The center or the second transformer has had a lot more assembly in the last couple of days, and if you compare to the one on the left, you can get a kind of a good sense of where they are so far. So here's a great overall shot of what this site looks like and where those three transformers are going to be in relation to those three control trailers. Of course, this tunnel that connects both of the vaults, the original and the new one, with a lot of the cabling. And this is what it looks like right now. Most of the cable holders on the south side have cables, but we don't see that on the north side yet. There's a great view of Megapack 2, which is also for the data center on the south side of Giga Texas. More conduit and of the concrete vaults for the trenching to connect in the switchyard over to Cortex 2. More equipment has been delivered here next to these trailers. And one last thing I want to show you before we wrap up the main video is just this kind of small fenced off yard with spools of cabling, some more deliveries here at the bottom of the screen, and some of the pipes and FRP beams that are being used for that superstructure of the Cortex 2's part 1 of the chiller plant. So now I'll bring the drone up to a much higher altitude, kind of give you this bird's eye view of the expansion work of the electrical switchyard and how this is coming along. It's rapidly starting to kind of fill everything in, and it's almost looking like it was always here. And this enormous amount of electrical power with this switchyard or substation to support Giga Texas, the factory, as it expands, and also the two data centers that are being built in, plus future construction that we will continue to watch out for, both on the east side, the northeast side, and on the west side of the highway. So speaking of which, taking advantage of the lighting, I'll give you a great overview of all of the sites that we saw today from this perspective. And as always, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it, and take care.